A formidable opponent awaits.
Well then, let us dance.
It's too late. This is your end.
What's up, gamers? Sweet Johnny Cage here, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you the highly anticipated SoulCalibur IV for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. As many of you are aware, Old School Fool and myself are huge fighting game fans. I've been playing SoulCalibur heavily since about 2003 in the arcade with SoulCalibur 2. I remember me and a bunch of people at my local arcade had a huge conquest going in the conquest mode on the arcade version. That would never really made it to the console, but just giving you a bit of my credentials for SoulCalibur. I was never really that big into SoulCalibur 3. I didn't think it was that great. It played too fast. Characters were just bad. They took off a lot of moves that they never should have even touched. Really, they did everything they shouldn't have done. That and the new characters weren't even that cool. But that's not the point. The point is that SoulCalibur 4 is going to be released this Tuesday, July 29th. And we have it early, so we want to do a quick review for you guys. A full review, though. We do have the full version of the game. Now, starting off with gameplay differences between the two versions, there's really not much. Obviously, the Xbox 360 version has Yoda from Star Wars, and the PS3 has Darth Vader from Star Wars. I have to say, in my own personal opinion, Yoda sucks. You can't throw him, you can barely hit him, and he could do whatever he wants to you. I mean, it's cool, but I could definitely see him being really heavily relied upon with Xbox Live with a bunch of, cheesy kids who just want to win and get their win ratios up. They're probably just going to rely on Yoda. But all the fair players will not be using him. Darth Vader, on the other hand, is an awesome character. I'm kind of jealous of the PlayStation 3 guys. I might even just, get this game for both systems for the sole fact that Darth Vader is such an awesome character. As you can see here in the gameplay footage, this is Darth Vader versus Mitsurugi, just showing off. This is actually the new challenge we're playing. We're just going to show off some of his force powers. He doesn't really rely upon them too much, but they are very powerful, especially after takedowns, as is being shown here and in the intro. But Yoda really just kind of bounces around. He's a very lofty character. He plays mostly in the air, jumping around. One of the things that I really don't like about him is that he could throw while he's in the air. Now, I know that anybody could dash up to anybody and throw them, but Yoda's dash, he jumps in the air. So since he's jumping in the air, he technically should be able to throw, but if you're going along with physics, he should not be able to throw. But since his throw makes him jump anyway, they let him throw. His backdash is a backflip, and that hops over low attacks. Now, I understand certain characters have certain special abilities in, as well as advantages and disadvantages over other characters, but Yoda is a very unfair character. I really don't like it when people use him, because it's just very annoying. Darth Vader, on the other hand, is a completely different story. Darth Vader, I feel, plays a lot like Mitsurugi, only because he has that true warrior in him, and just, the way he wields his lightsaber and uses all of his powers, he's a very precise character. So those are the only two characters that are console-specific. There is one character that both consoles share, who's pretty much not really from the SoulCalibur universe, but the Star Wars universe. And that is the Apprentice. It's Darth Vader's apprentice. He was actually very recently given a name. His real name is Jacob Neon, or Nyan, not too sure how you pronounce it. Voice translation hasn't really come out yet. The name that he goes by is Starkiller. That just happened recently, so that name obviously wasn't programmed into the game. But he is a very vicious character, a very fast character. He uses a lot of force power, is very reliant on his lightsaber. That's pretty much expected for a Jedi, at least an evil Jedi. But he's a very fun character to use, as the gameplay footage is showing you here. He is an unlockable character, though. So, I mean, he's not available from the start. Aside from that, there's not too many other gameplay differences that I've even noticed, nor have any of my friends noticed. Me and my friends have been playing this game heavily, and we haven't noticed too many other gameplay differences, at least major ones, aside from like load time and stuff like that. One thing that I did notice, though, that I wanted to bring up is that I did notice that the PS3 version of SoulCalibur IV does look a lot darker, and I don't mean like a Dark Side of the Force kind of darker. I mean the lighting in the game is actually a lot darker, as it shows in the footage. You know, you can easily compare the two, as I am here. The 360 version just looks a lot brighter and a lot crisper, and that's really all that I noticed between the two, aside from Yoda and Vader. But not that really matters, the game is still awesome. SoulCalibur IV does have a character creation mode, which I know a lot of you were looking forward to. I'm not a huge fan of it, but you know what, I did give it a shot. And I have to say, it is a lot of fun. The created characters have just as much detail as their regular characters, and I'll get to the graphics next to the game. One thing that I did notice, however, about the created character is that whenever you get new costume pieces, like a new helmet, new gauntlets, pretty much anything, they all have stats. But the stats are only usable in certain modes. You can't use them in versus mode, though. So what I'm basically trying to tell you is that any custom costume that you get, you cannot use in a versus mode or an arcade mode, because they have stats. It seems a little primitive of Namco Bandai not to just let you use it without the stats. I mean, how hard is it to deprogram an item not to have stats, just to have a visual representation? Other than that, I have absolutely no complaints about character creation. It's a great mode to anybody who wants to use it. It's also a lot of fun. You can clone the souls of pretty much any character except for Yoda, Vader, and the Apprentice. So basically, you could have the move sets and the weapon types of those characters. You know, Ivy, Mitsurugi, Keelik, Maxi, Nightmare, Cervantes, anybody. A lot of people were wondering how will this game play compared to 3 and 2. 3 was very fast, whereas 2 was pretty much the arcade perfect fighter. You know, everybody loved 2. There really wasn't too much wrong with it. Sure, there were insane combos that could take away 50% of your life, but nobody could ever get them off, you know? But really, nobody could ever get them off. When they released 3, and the arcade version of that was basically just the PS2 stuck in an arcade machine with sticks attached to it, that game played a lot faster, resulting in very broken matches, very unbalanced characters. They also removed a lot of techniques from characters, which pissed a lot of people off, including myself. That's why I personally did not like 3. My main character is Keelik, and they took away one of his best combos. However, with 4, they slowed it back down, not exactly at the speed of 2, but it is still a lot slower than 3, which is good, because this makes for a more balanced and fair gameplay, which I'm very, very pleased with. However, the move lists are basically the same from 3. Each character just has a few new moves, and obviously the new characters have all new moves. But again, it's basically in the middle of 2 and 3, which I'm completely happy with. Now, as I said before, graphics. Graphics in this game are amazing. Everything is insanely detailed. The stages that you fight on. There is one stage, and I'm showing here, it's Keelik versus Yoda, as I showed you in the intro. I want you to look at the ducks in the background. The ducks wandering around the stage have the same amount of detail as the actual characters. It just shows that the reason why this game was pushed back so many times, and the reason why it took so long to actually come out, is because of how much detail they were putting into this. And you know what? It was well worth the wait. Alright guys, what I want to close with right now is, if you're going to get this game, there are a few people who want me to give you shoutouts, to challenge them in the game if you think you're good enough. First person is somebody that we featured on multiple videos, including our arcade stick unboxing, who's also with us during our Metal Gear Solid 4 launch here in New York City. That is Joe, I love you. If you'd like to challenge him, he actually called me last night telling me that he will take anyone on. But all you have to do is send him a message on Xbox Live. His tag is ILOVEU. That's just the letter U, so I love you. And be sure to include a message that you heard about him from this video. This way he actually accepts you. And you can also challenge me, Sweet Johnny Cage. I'll be playing probably on the 360 more than on the PS3. Overall, I'm going to be giving SoulCalibur IV a 90% out of 100, as well as a 5 out of 5 Lonnie face. Lonnie is very happy about this game, as we stated in the podcast this week. Guys, if you want to check out this game, which I highly suggest you do, for either the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, simply look to the right of this video, inside of the video description, for a link to VideoGameCentral.com. Inside of the video description, you'll also find a link to the Gamer's Voice blog and podcast, which is updated daily, and we podcast weekly both on Stick'em and Blog TV live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Guys, if you like what you see here, please do subscribe to us. We always do encourage that. We upload videos almost every day. Guys, I'm Sweet Johnny Cage. Thanks for watching my review of SoulCalibur IV for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Game on.